Alright guys, we're back for another Dokkan Battle video. I wanted to highlight Int LR Evolution Blue Vegeta and EJL UI Goku. They've now arrived on Global Dokkan, and the reaction to them is exactly what I've expected, right? I've seen a lot of global players just outright saying, like, they're the best units in the game and stuff like that, and I get it. The thing about these guys, right, like, let's look at this from a global player perspective, right? So these guys came out, July 8th of 2021, and now, here we are, where they get their EZA on July 31st of 2024, and, I mean, this guy is not, like, Beast is definitely better, for sure, easily. But, like, I mean, if you have Beast Gohan at 55%, and then this guy you rainbowed a year ago, right? Like, it's not, like, Vegeta is gonna probably feel more impressive. Like, this is one of the best things Dokkan has now gotten into a pattern of. Is, I mean, for the anniversary headliner LRs, it does seem like if we look at the last four, and then Blue Vegeta and Blue Gogeta, it does seem to me like these guys now, the expectation is that they're just like, like I'm already thinking about next year and the 7th anniversary LRs, and I'm wondering, like, how broken are they going to be, right? Like, we'll get to that, but I mean, just sitting here right now, I feel like these two, at minimum, this might seem surprising to hear, but my expectation is that these guys are both going to be better than Beast Gohan. That's what I think. And while that seems absurd now, keep in mind that the next anniversary, like, it's not the GP anniversary, the global anniversary. Next anniversary is next anniversary. Both versions sharing it at the same time. These LRs are usually in line with, like, the main anniversary, LRs that came out, right? Like, the Blue Fusions were last year, and then now UI Goku and Evolution Blue Vegeta were this year. So that's 2 years in a row. Now, I mean, the thing about these patterns Dokkan gets on, it is true that they could just stop, like, these patterns at any time. They can. But I do think Dokkan understands that when it comes to, like, the anniversary LRs, like, just making them like this is just nothing but a good thing for everybody, right? Nobody is mad that Vegeta and UI Goku, I mean, if we look at it from a JP perspective, these guys came out, what was it, February 22nd or something like that? I remember the data download with these guys hit right as I was getting to the final boss of Final Fantasy 16. And it's like, they've just been, top 3 units in the game for 6 months, just dominating the game. And no one is upset about this. Anniversary characters always have the best animations. Anniversary characters always are some of the most hyped characters that exist. So it's like Dokkan continuing to do this is really good. Now, Dokkan, it's, as a gacha game, they're always going to be pushing power creep forward. It's kind of an unfortunate aspect of the fact that it is a gacha game, right? They are trying to get people to spend money. So they make these fights so ridiculous, so insane. Now, the 7th anniversary was 500 times worse than the 9th anniversary felt. And you want to know why that is? It's only because the characters we were using were way shittier. The 9th anniversary power creep was bigger. Like, the bosses leaped way further from, like, the 8th year into the 9th year than they did from the 6th year into the 7th year. It's true. Like, the power creep was 1,000 times bigger for 9th anniversary. But 7th anniversary feels way worse because all of the characters we were using at the time were shitty. So now it's like they're going to give us these ridiculously impossible feeling fights. I mean, you go in with a full lineup of 2023 characters and go fight that Goku and Frieza fight, right? It's a joke, like, how ridiculous it is with the damage threshold, like, check and stuff like that. Like, it's insanity. These bosses are really, really, really tough. Now, to be fair, 2023 characters were also, like, 2023, I think probably is going to go down as, like, of, like, modern Dokkan. Because, like, people will talk nostalgia, like, oh, dude, it was so fire back in, like when Physical Vegito Blue came out and stuff like that. Like, you could say that with nostalgia, but the game sucked compared to what it is now. Of modern Dokkan years, which would probably start in like 2019 is when modern Dokkan started, because that's when Dokkan fell into the patterns. Dokkan Fest LR for Tanabata, the Dokkan Fest LRs, for Anniversary, those started in 2018, but like kind of like the established patterns and like the format of the schedule has been the same for Dokkan for the most part. Since 2019. So I would kind of consider the modern era of Dokkan like 2019 and on. And 2023 is the worst year by far of all those years, without a doubt. And 2024 is the best year of all those years. And 2024 has also had the hardest content with these ridiculous bosses, with the locking and the damage checks and all the nonsense. But it hasn't felt like it. And these guys have a huge hand in that. The 5th anniversary Blue Fusions, remember, they were utterly insane. They're still usable. These guys can easily get clapped up right now with how these fights are, especially there's several fights that are locking right away. And, I mean, these guys can be kind of slot-specific, Blue Gogeta and Blue Vegito. But, I mean, they still are very good, and they have tools that make them intriguing even to this day, with the guaranteed dodge and stuff like that. Vegeta and Goku do as well. Goku literally has 100% dodge turn 1, which means any short fight forever, UI Goku is a real option, right? Vegeta is very tanky turn 1, although, I mean, in some of the hardest fights right now against Cell Max, Blue Kaioken, Goku Evolution, Blue Vegeta, they could hit him for about 300k. Like, if you put Vegeta in slot 1, and then the boss will super attack right away, it'll take like 350, 380, somewhere in that range. And my Vegeta, seeing these numbers, I do have the full barrage of anniversary defensive equips on him, with a full round of defense. But, one thing that makes these guys so good is how dominant they are at the start of the game, the start of the fight, right? Now, I do want to take a quick opportunity. I always do this to defend these 4 a little bit. Now, I think no matter how you slice it, these 4 characters are definitely not, they did not get as strong of an EZA just like as like these 4, for sure. But it was just, you guys got to understand how bad the characters were this was the 7th anniversary. These 4 are the 7th anniversary Dokkan Fest LR EZA characters. And it's like they were must-runs on the teams, these guys. We had no good characters at the time. I think a lot of the community is global players, right? And so it's like, for global players, Physical Super Saiyan 3 Goku, you guys get him, and, for multiple months, like, he's very good. It's hard for him to take damage. He does a lot of damage. On JP, Physical Super Saiyan 3 Goku, 6 weeks after he came out, he's getting one shot. Cold-blooded. Normals are a struggle for Physical Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Like, it got really bad really fast for even the most recent characters that came out. These LR EZAs and stuff like that, they were so big during the 7th anniversary, and it wasn't until Vegeta and Trunks came out in July of 2022 that was when things started to switch. The last half of 2022, like, I've been using this term for a couple of months now, Dokkan Hall of Fame, and I've seen it kind of pop up here and there. I've seen people comment on channels, stuff like that. I'm definitely taking the credit for the Dokkan Hall of Fame thing. If we would do, like, if I'd sit down and do that, like, I don't know, 50 characters to go into the Dokkan Hall of Fame, how many of the last half of 2022 are in there? Vegeta and Trunks? Gamma 1 and Path to Power Kid Goku both are must inclusion. They must be included. Orange Piccolo, of course. And I mean, I could think about some of the other ones. Maybe Tech Carnival. I don't know if Tech Carnival Goku or Cooler quite make it in. I feel like they're like they might have been better than individual characters at the time or something like that, but maybe their lasting impact and other things. I mean, it would be a pretty subjective ranking for sure, but I mean, I would say of end of 2022, again, Vegeta and Trunks, Gamma 1, Path to Power Kid Goku, and Orange Piccolo, 100% would be like Hall of Fame, like some of the best characters, Dokkan has ever released by certain metrics or whatever we want to say. But these 4 were so needed. Nobody had Red Zone Broly no items for weeks. I remember there was one Reddit post. I never saw screenshots or footage of it or anything. But there was a Reddit post of someone saying they had Broly no items, and they did it actually using Evolution Blue Vegeta's revive to get past the AoE. Because the thing about beating Broly when he came out, nobody could live the AoE. If AoE Broly supered, if he just supered, you lose. Is what it was. That's why, it's just one of those things where global players just didn't feel it as hard, since obviously, global had many 200% characters come out before the anniversary hit. But like, that's why all that talk about Fusion Zamasu, and it's like, he wasn't even half as toxic as Red Zone Broly the day he came out. It wasn't even close. It's literally not even a discussion. So it's like, that's why I think that these guys get a little bit worse of a rap than they deserve. They definitely aged out quick, no doubt about that. And like, these guys did not, and these guys are not going to. These guys did, but like, the game was just so bad at that time in terms of the strength of characters we had. We did not have better options than these guys. These guys were so important. So I think kind of like Dokkan very, very slowly drip fed us, like good characters until they blew the doors off with Vegeta and Trunks. Absolutely insane god tier character. Vegeta and Trunks are one of the strongest characters ever. Again, like people, what's funny is that I think when Beast came out on GP and there was discussions of best units ever, people were talking about these guys, and I'm sorry, but these guys don't even have a seat at the table. Like, these guys were getting bullied by the Red Zone. Vegeta and Trunks are way better of a character on release than the gods in LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta were. Vegeta and Trunks were legitimately invincible in all those tough Red Zone fights. These guys were victims. As awesome as the Super Saiyan Blues are, the LR gods and LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta are, like, they were victims when they first came out. And remember, Dokkan updated it. This didn't used to be a nullification. This used to be a dodge. So Gogeta has this, and it didn't even work against Broly. You couldn't do that. Broly would just kill him because you cancel dodge. So that was a good change, that they made some of these counters like this nullifications rather than dodges. That was a great change for Dokkan. But again, I end this video with saying this. Dude, these guys are not far away, man. I'm telling, like, it's like February. It's going to be like February 23rd or something. Let's take a look at the calendar. I've talked about this a lot because these guys are going to be some of the hypest releases ever. Yeah, these guys are going to come out on like the 21st or the 24th. It's probably one of those two. It's either going to be right there or right there. Like 24th, 25th, 26th, 21st, 20th, in that range. That's when these guys in LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta are going to get their EZAs. And I'm predicting that the level that they're at is above what Beast Gohan is right now. Above Cell Max and, above these guys. That's where these guys are going to be. So I think, like LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta on his EZA, I think will be stronger than any character that's in the game right now. It's going to be crazy. So I can't wait. I did, again, just wanted to highlight Vegeta and UI Goku right now. They are the best EZAs ever. I myself don't really care which one people think is better. I think that they're close enough. Vegeta has a little bit of a better designed kit, but I mean, UI Goku's strength allowing him to go slot 1 more often than Vegeta does matter. But I mean, I don't know that it really matters so much which one is better. Whoever you think is better, whatever, it's fine. But these are the best EZAs in Dokkan history, without a doubt.